Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. Today's read will be a read for singles, so maybe someone you're connecting with or who is coming in for you. As per usual, the timestamps will be in the description bar below as well as the comments. So let's just get started here. Okay, starting off with Aries. Let's see. Page of Swords wanted to show itself here. Someone may have their eye on you, but it may be a bit of an indirect energy. Maybe someone who is admiring you from afar, potentially hasn't reached out yet. Or it could even be someone who is like interested in you and they're wanting to know more about you. So they could be asking like a mutual friend, basically, you know, inquiring about you, but it's not the most direct energy. But let's see. This could be someone that you work with. We have the Eight of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck and we have the Chariot. Okay. It could be an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and we also have Cancerian energy. But with the Eight of Pentacles as well as the Chariot, I find that, you know, it's someone who wants to invest in you, okay? This may be someone who is moving a little bit more slowly. Maybe the pace is not what you're, used to, but I do feel like it's someone who's very premeditated or they are thinking about things thoroughly. So I don't really see it as someone who's coming in a very impulsive way, but they're wanting to invest in you or work towards a connection here. With the Chariot, I feel like what they're wanting is to see some sort of progress. So with the Page of Swords, for example, if they have their eye on you or they're taking a liking towards you, maybe the first step here is communicating that to you. Okay. So we have the Four of Wands followed by the Six of Pentacles. Yeah, this is most certainly someone who is wanting to show you some sort of effort, right? Whether it's communicating with you and actually confessing that they are, or their emotions towards you, whether it's maybe a kind gesture, like some sort of, a gift here. But with the Four of Wands being the first card, I feel like this is someone who definitely has commitment on their mind. I don't feel like this is someone who is or has some sort of a temporary plan. They're definitely thinking of some sort of a long-term goal. So I feel like, you know, even though this is a fairly new energy, they're seeing a lot of potential here. Okay. This person views you as someone who's very nurturing, but also generous. Okay. So some of you may be in a field of work where, you know, maybe it's related to whether it's helping people in one way, maybe you do some sort of charity work, or they're just viewing you as very generous in terms of how you take care of those that are close to you. It's very visible to them. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. There's something about you making this person feel very understood. I feel like with the Queen of Cups, this is someone who is wanting to, yes, have more emotional based or emotion based conversations with you, but they feel like you have a lot of depth to you as well. So if you are, conversing with this person, I feel like they may be opening up about something that's very difficult for them to speak about. But I do feel that they're feeling a strong emotional connection, and there's something about wanting to have a conversation, but it's like emotion based or something that they're feeling, wanting to better understand you. But they do feel like you are a very caring person. You're very nurturing. So even if it's not that you guys are directly communicating with each other, it could be the way that, like I said, you know, the energy that you exude, or maybe it's visible to this person how you care for others. Okay. Two of Swords. Yeah. I feel like this person definitely has commitment on their mind, but with the Two of Swords clarifying the Four of Wands, I'm getting a strong energy of someone who's like, okay, I need to take it day by day. Two of Swords could be when there's something in the current moment that you're not seeing clearly, but I feel like this stems from a space of maybe not communicating something to you, right? Someone who's trying to figure you out, but maybe trying to do everything on their own. And because of the lack of communication or the lack of them being, you know, forward with how they're feeling, could be causing a bit of confusion here. Okay. There's something that they feel like is possible, but they're not seeing the tangible evidence for it in the current moment is pretty much what I'm picking up on. The Lovers, yeah. So this person could be a Gemini, but I'm strongly getting an energy of someone who's like, okay, I feel very drawn to you, right? So this person feels very drawn to you. They feel a magnetic pull and they can't really put their finger on why, but they also feel like you were, you guys have crossed paths for a reason. The Lovers is usually when you feel a deep connection, but you also feel like something is almost like destined to be. So we have the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. This person may open up about having to walk away from something else or walk away from something that was no longer serving them, specifically when it comes to the emotional department. I also feel like with the Eight of Cups clarifying the Queen of Cups here, this is someone who's going to make it clear, very clear in terms of what they're looking for in a relationship. There may be certain experiences that they have gone through where they feel like their kindness or their love was kind of like taken for granted here. So I do see them opening up about that. Five of Swords and Two of Swords. I feel like this is someone who could have a bit of trust issues, or it just could be in the current moment where they're having a hard time kind of, trusting the situation, or they feel like there are a lot of things that they don't understand, but it could just be because you guys are in the early stages here. Okay, Nine of Swords. And the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like this person is thinking about their every move. Yes, they want to come forward, but I do feel like they're going to be analyzing the situation quite a bit. With the Nine of Swords, that could be like a little bit of an anxious energy, maybe even just unnecessary worry. And what I mean by unnecessary worry is like someone who just like, they're wanting to speak to you, they're wanting to get to know you, but because it's so fresh or new, they could be overthinking it. I don't necessarily see it as a block. And the Seven of Pentacles, especially with the Six of Pentacles as well, I feel like this is someone who is ready to invest in this connection with you, but they're thinking about things thoroughly. I don't really see it as an impulsive individual or someone who's coming in hot and heavy. I think they're going to show interest and you're going to see how that connection develops little by little. Okay, so let's see if we can get a closing message for you guys. Oops. Okay, so we have divine assistance. I am open to receive. Change me, divine beloved, into one who is willing to receive all the right help. Let me feel deserving of divine assistance in every way. Open me to receive. Some of you could be healing or healing your heart chakra, maybe even working on an aspect of you that you feel like has some sort of a block, especially when it comes to receiving love from others. You could be a very caring and nurturing person, but when it comes to you, do you put your own desires on the back burner? Is there something within you where you're telling yourself you're not deserving of some sort of, love that is coming towards you? I think many of you could be, again, healing your heart chakra, even the card being green. That's what it's kind of giving me the energy of. But of course, it does touch on just being able to, like, you're open to receive, right? If it's not about open to receiving love, it could just be, opening up to some sort of assistance. If you're someone who constantly likes to do things on your own, there is some sort of assistance around you. And so this is just, a little nudge to be open towards it. Okay, guys. So that's what I'm getting for you. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus. So let's see what's going on for my Taurus singles. Oop. Okay. Okay, so we have the Death card on the bottom of the deck. You could be connecting with a Scorpio and the Ace of Wands. It seems to me, Taurus, that the worst of a situation or the worst part of a situation is finally over. So you may find that this is a month where you're feeling a lot lighter. You're feeling like some sort of a weight has been lifted off of your shoulders. Now, with the Ace of Wands, I feel like this is, an exciting new beginning, something where you feel a renewal of hope or passion, okay? I do feel like you are very attractive to someone with the Ace of Wands here. So it could be physical attraction that is drawing them in, but I do see an energy of, okay, I'm starting to feel like myself again, or I feel like I completed something that was very difficult and finally that's over. So let's see. Could be a fire sign also, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Okay. Okay, so we have the Chariot followed by the Four of Swords. Could be a Cancerian that is wanting to come towards you. With the Four of Swords, I'm strongly getting that it could be someone who has been on their own for a while here, or there's a bit of an isolated energy where they do a lot more thinking and possibly listening as opposed to speaking. So they are paying attention to you, or they're wanting to see some sort of progress, but I'm strongly getting an energy of someone who's like spending more time maybe thinking about what they want with you, or spending more time like contemplating a situation here. And there's something about them spending a lot of time alone. So whether, I'm picking up on an energy of someone who's like a lone wolf, or someone who actually has to be on their own for the most part, if that's something to do with their career here, Five of Cups. Seems to me that this person is still healing. I think that they're healing from something emotionally. There could be some sort of a loss that they have recently gone through. It doesn't necessarily need to be, a relationship or a breakup. It could also just be some sort of, like a friendship or something in their personal life that they feel like is impacting them in an emotional, on an emotional level. But with the Four of Swords and the Five of Cups, I also feel strongly that this is someone who feels a pull towards you. This is someone who wants to see progress in this connection, with the Chariot being the first card there. But I'm also getting that there may be something in their past that that is still kind of lingering. Like, that's what I'm picking up on energetically. Nine of Pentacles. They view you as very stable. I think that this is someone who, Nine of Pentacles in general is a very beautiful energy to be viewed in, because it speaks about stability. It speaks about you being very self-assured. And I feel like this is someone who admires that about you. Okay. Something about your independence is, being highlighted for this person as well. And like, what's interesting to me is like, this person feels they're on their own. They're feeling drawn to you, but there's something here that they're going through. Okay, on an emotional level that's still lingering, or that's causing them to kind of like be or feel like they're in between worlds, but they still have their eye on you. With the Four of Swords, Five of Cups, and the Nine of Pentacles, there may even be an energy of this person feeling like it's not the right time this week or this month to act on their emotions here. Four of Pentacles, yeah, so this is more of a held back energy. Someone who is attracted to you, but it's more of an observant energy. So even if you guys are communicating, they're asking you specific questions, they're wanting to get to know you on a deeper level, but I feel like they're going to be very careful with making some sort of making the first move here, or opening up or expressing to you. Page of Pentacles, yeah, so they're learning a lot about you. What they want is to know more about you, to feel closer to you. Initially, you may feel there may be an age gap between you and this individual, or you may feel like what they're offering you is not what you're looking for, or it seems a little bit small, like a small offer coming your way. Now, I don't say that in an entitled way, but the Page of Pentacles could sometimes be like a small offer, right? But it has a lot of potential to turn into something larger. So just, keep that in mind. Three of Swords, okay, and the Four of Pentacles, Two of Cups, yeah. It seems to me that this is someone who is slowly developing emotions for you, but they're not allowing themselves to fall for you completely because of something here that they're still healing from. So it's not to say that there's someone else in the picture, or, that kind of energy, but the Three of Swords and the Five of Cups could be someone who has just gone through their fair share of like a very, difficult situation, something that really, that they're, yes, healing from, but something that is impacting them in the current moment, right? So I do see them healing from that, but they feel connected to you, but they also don't feel ready to, move into a relationship this week, or they don't feel ready to fully express how they feel towards you. So I think they're doing a lot more, like I said, analyzing and wanting to understand you on a deeper level, but they really do admire you. I think that this is someone who feels like their emotions for you are developing fairly quickly. The Hanged Man, yeah. Could be a Pisces also, but I am getting an energy of someone who is just remaining still this week, someone who is thinking about you, someone who's feeling connected to you, but they're a little, I do feel a little bit of a slower moving energy when it comes to making a move. And it has a lot to do with something that they're still healing from. So even connecting with you, Taurus, could be bringing up some sort of, or it's causing some sort of like suppressed emotions to resurface for this person. And they're acknowledging that that's something that they want to work on prior to, connecting with you. Okay, so let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Okay. Okay, any closing messages for Taurus? Okay. So we have nurturing. I am a spark of divinity. Change me, divine beloved, into one who accepts my body exactly as it is, seeing it as a vessel for your love. Fill me with gratitude for this physical form. Let me nurture and care for myself in every way. There's something with your routine that's changing. There's something that you're cutting out that is no longer good for you, and it is going to, because you're making this change, it's going to show on the physical here. Okay, so for some of you, it's like maybe you're cutting out junk food, maybe you are changing your diet, maybe you are incorporating more movement when it comes to your lifestyle here. But it's like you're really paying attention to what you're consuming. So this doesn't just have to be, food or drinks. It could also just be what you're consuming on a daily basis in terms of what are you spending your time watching, right? What are you listening to in terms of like music? I think that there could even be some sort of a detox that you're going on to attract more of a new energy, to release yourself or detach from the past here. Okay, but I do feel like you're cutting something out of your, daily routine, something that's no longer, that you feel like is no longer working for you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. So what's going on for my Gemini singles? Okay, so we have the Ten of Cups on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Ace of Cups, okay? So this is just letting me know that this is someone who is coming in, fairly new energy here. Of course, it is a singles read, but I'm strongly getting that it's someone who does have commitment on their mind, or there is something that they are working towards when it comes to like a long-term goal. Okay, so Ten of Cups is someone who sees the potential in the connection with you, but Eight of Pentacles lets me know that there may be something that they're currently working on, okay? So whether it's something pertaining to their stability, maybe it's, wanting an upgrade in their career here. I do see it as someone who could be very hardworking or spends most of their time at work. Very career-oriented is what I'm picking up on. Could be a water sign with the Ten of Cups, Ace of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the Fool card followed by the Ten of Pentacles. It seems to me that this is someone who's like in a very provider-like energy. Like what they want to do is provide for you. What they want in a connection is stability. Okay, you may work with this person, or there's something about like their career coming up very persistently here. So it may be that, again, they spend a lot of time at work, or there's like some sort of a goal that they're working towards, and they could be communicating that to you as well. But I definitely feel like it's someone who wants, or is thinking of a higher level of commitment. It's definitely someone who wants things to be stable. And I also feel here that this is someone who's not rushing things. they are feeling, confident in, taking a leap of faith towards you with the Fool card. But I also strongly feel like it's someone who's going to take their time with building a very stable foundation with you. Okay. This person could also be communicating that they're dating to marry or dating for the long term here, especially because we did see the 10 of Cups and now we see the 10 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups. I feel like this is someone who views you as, I'm very happy when I'm around Gemini. 9 of Cups is like wish fulfillment. So this person may view you as, someone that they've manifested, or the connection that they share with you seems like something that they've always wanted for themselves. But I'm strongly getting that they are, viewing you as someone that they feel very content with. Okay. This person could also be wanting to get to know you on a deeper level, wanting to know what makes you happy or the hobbies that, you enjoy. Knight of Wands. Yeah, because what I see is someone who feels an urgency to pursue you, and I feel like this is a very confident individual. But even if they are coming in hot and heavy, I don't feel like it's someone who's going to be rushing the process, from that point on. There's something about wanting things to feel stable, so taking it slow, but also wanting to see some sort of progress, so they're making, a move very quickly initially, right? So how they're coming in may not be how they're going to be during, the course of them pursuing you here. I think there's an urgency of, well, I better speak up, or I better tell Gemini how I feel now before it's too late. But it will take time to, build a stable connection here, or I am going to, take time when it comes to getting to know Gemini, and I'm not going to just rush into a commitment here. But I think that they are definitely wanting to tell you how they feel. That's what I'm seeing here, and that's where the urgency stems from. Judgment. This person could also be going through some sort of a major change in their life. Okay, I'm specifically getting for some of you, they could be from, out of town or another city. And so maybe moving closer to you could be the shift. Or if they, if they're physically relocating, that could be the change where it's like, okay, I'm in a new town and I'm meeting a new person, that sort of thing. But I definitely see them see them as someone who has gone through like a very big change, or like I said, they're currently going through the change here. Could be a Scorpio, Knight of Cups. I feel like this person is going to make their emotions very known. I feel like this is someone who's going to confess how they feel. They're going to tell you what they want moving forward. This could be a very attractive individual, someone who's very charming also. Knight of Wands and Knight of Cups gives me an energy of someone who, they could be flirtatious, but also very good with their words here. Okay. And again, I do see them coming in pretty quickly, but you're going to realize that they are wanting stability, and things start to not necessarily slow down, but they progress a bit more slowly, because this person is not someone who's rushing into a commitment here. 4 of Wands, yeah. So 4 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, we did see the 10 of Cups. So not to sound too repetitive, but this is definitely someone who's working towards a higher level of commitment here. Now, for others of you, this person may have been in a commitment in their past, like a higher level of commitment, and coming out of that commitment could have created some sort of a shock or a change for this person, and they could be communicating that as well. I don't feel like being committed is something new to this individual. Page of Cups. I think this is someone who really admires you. There's some sort of a spark that you like within this person. Like, it's almost like the way that you speak, or the way that you carry yourself, maybe even just your lifestyle or your perspective on life. It's almost like opening up a new door mentally for this person. Yeah, this is giving me like a strong, almost like a crush energy, someone who has a crush on you, someone who's admiring you, wanting you to know how they feel, but they do have a long-term goal in mind, which is for things to end up in a stable commitment. Queen of Swords. This person could be having a hard time reading you. They may feel like there's some sort of a guard that you have up with them this week. It is someone who's opening up to you emotionally, but they may view you as someone who's kind of like doing more listening and analyzing as opposed to responding. They may feel like your past experiences have shaped you into who you are today. So they do feel like you're a bit detached or independent, or when they're trying to get through to you, there could be a little bit of a guard up where, I don't really see it as negative, but they are viewing you as someone who doesn't really let people in easily, or you don't trust situations easily. Okay, so let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Okay, guys, so we have authenticity. I can be my true self. Change me, divine beloved, into one who has the courage to be my true self. Allow me to honor my sexuality, desires, and needs as sacred expressions of your divine love. So this card is kind of self-explanatory here. Many of you could be in the process of just, better learning yourself, also loving yourself. But this is about just being, true to yourself. If there's something you feel the need to communicate, then make sure you're doing that. And also knowing that you're deserving of the things that you actually desire. Maybe you are a person who, you know what you want when it comes to relationships, or you feel like you're deserving of something, but you're not allowing yourself to receive it. So this is basically about, having the courage to be yourself, really. And if there is something that is not sitting well with you, if there, this is fairly a new energy. So it could even be that there's something here that you really want to make clear before you start to communicate with someone or communicate with them on a deeper level. And I feel like it's really important to be able to be open about that and not shy away from, being who you really are here, or communicating how you really feel. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. So let's see what's going on for my Cancer singles. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Nine of Cups. Communication that makes you very happy. Whether it's like an incoming message, this could be from another water sign, possibly a fire sign here as well. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I see with the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Cups, it's some sort of a message that is making you very happy. So I feel like someone could be confessing to you how they feel towards you, and maybe this is something that you had a gut feeling about. The other thing that I see with the Eight of Wands and the Nine of Cups is you being very close to some sort of a connection that you've manifested. Because if Eight of Wands is not about communication, it's also a card of manifestation. So, something you've been desiring, something that you've been manifesting for quite some time, and it's coming into fruition for you. But I do see you being very happy because of that. Okay. Let's see. Okay. The Eight of Cups and the Six of Wands. You're being rewarded for walking away from something that, no longer serves you. Right? With the Eight of Cups, I feel like there's something that you've detached from, and so you're making room for what you truly desire, or something that serves you for your highest good. And the Six of Wands is you receiving attention. You may be, there may be more than one suitor here for you, Cancer, with the Six of Wands. Some of you may be in the public eye where, what you do for work is like visible to those around you, but I do see you having more than one option here. Queen of Cups. This is a month where, people are viewing you as very nurturing, very caring. I think that you are stepping into a softer version of yourself, or you are able to feel like you, or it almost seems to me that you feel more open to receive this month, and that's somehow visible to those around you. Okay. I'm specifically getting you being rewarded for completing a very tough cycle, specifically detaching from a situation that may have really taken a toll on you in the past here. Yeah, definitely see an emotional confession here with the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Cups. Someone really admires the way that you carry yourself. They could also feel very safe in your energy. Okay, there may be an age gap between you and this individual, although I'm strongly getting someone who feels very safe in your energy. They feel like you are someone who's very caring. They can confide in you about a lot. And I feel like you may remind this person of some sort of a parental figure, or someone that's very important to them. If it's not like a parent, it could be like a guardian, but it has a lot to do with how you care for yourself and how you care for those that are very close to you. So that's definitely somehow visible to this person. Nine of Pentacles. This person is viewing you as, you know, very stable. You have it going on. Very independent energy also. Okay, so the things that you've attained for yourself here, this person feels like, you know, you've had to do a lot on your own without the help of others. They do view you as someone who's very stable, but also strong, right? You may have a very quiet strength about you where you don't really boast, or you don't really, you know, speak about maybe what you're up to, or just publicize what you have going on. But this person is definitely viewing you as someone that they want to build with. They also find you to be very attractive. I see a lot of physical attraction here, but there's like this magnetic pull that they feel when it comes to just your energy, the way that you speak to this person, or the way that you know, speak to others. Three of Swords. This person could view you as someone who has gone through your fair share of hurt. And it's interesting because we have the Three of Swords and the Eight of Cups in the same spread here. So this is someone who feels like, you know, you've had to go through very difficult or tough experiences in your past. And with the Three of Swords, like I said, they may feel like you have, you know, it's visible that you have been hurt before because of the way that you carry yourself, and because of how you carry yourself in the now. Okay. Knight of Cups is being clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. This is someone who wants to offer you something very stable. They actually want to build with you. Ace of Pentacles is usually an offer that you would want to accept. Okay, this is someone who's viewing you as very like career oriented, career focused, maybe even just, you know, working on yourself. But I do feel like they want to build with you. And I think the first step here is, you know, letting you know how they feel about you with the Knight of Cups. Six of Swords. There's something about you that makes this person feel very peaceful, Cancer. I'm persistently getting that. So with the Queen of Cups and the Six of Swords, it's like they feel at peace with you. They could definitely be wanting to feel closer to you. So like getting to know you on a deeper level, wanting the communication to be more consistent, maybe just wanting to spend more quality time with you. But I do see an energy of wanting to feel closer to you, but it's stemming from a space of Cancer's energy feels so safe. Five of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you definitely have more than, you know, one suitor here, or it could be that you have options and that's visible to this person. When the Five of Wands comes out in a spread, guys, it could be a little bit of a competitive energy. So some sort of competition in your energetic field, or someone who's just trying to stand out from the rest. It's someone who views you as a catch. You know, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, they view you as attractive. They feel like you really have it together, and they know that, you know, you have options here. And so they're doing something this week where, you know, they're standing out from the rest, or they're proving to you, hey, like, you know, I want you to pay attention to me, or I do like you, or I do want this to grow, is what I'm sensing. Okay. But I do feel like this is someone who wonders what you do with the attention that you receive, because they're viewing you as someone who does receive a lot of attention, whether it's because you're in the public eye, or whether it's because you're just a popular individual. But they are wondering how you respond to the attention that you receive here. So let's see if I can get you guys a closing message. Okay, guys, so we have the Adventure card. I will ride the tide. Change me, divine beloved, into one who rides the tide happily, trusting where I am being led, even when everything doesn't make sense yet. This is a situation where you know, you are being asked to allow things to unfold, you know, the way that they should, or kind of like go with the flow of things. There may be a sense of control that you like to have, Cancer, in terms of, I want to know what's going on. I know, you know, I want to know what's going to happen next. That may give you a sense of structure, or it could be something that's something that you've developed because of something that's deeply rooted when it comes within you, but because of your past with the Eight of Cups, where it's like maybe in the past situations that you've experienced, you felt like you felt very powerless. Maybe you felt very defeated. And so this could just be like a coping mechanism or a response, but you are, being asked to, go with the flow, or trust where, or which direction that you're being guided in. It says, even when everything doesn't make sense yet, right? So you could be in the early stages of getting to know this person. You may have a lot of questions, but things will unravel or unfold when the time is right. It's an energy of, you don't know everything in the now, but that doesn't mean that it has to be something that instills some sort of fear within you. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Leo. Okay, Leo. So let's see what's going on for my Leo singles. Five of Wands, okay, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. I see here that someone is highly attracted to you, but there's a part of them that feels like they're really wanting something to happen, almost to the point where they feel like they're fighting for something. Like there's a little bit of a battle here. Now, it doesn't mean that, you and this person are having some sort of a battle. It could be mental conflict also. But the Five of Wands is usually some sort of an external influence or something that's in the way of this person, pursuing you with the 10 of Pentacles here. It's like they want to prove how they feel towards you, but there's a part of them that wishes that things didn't feel so complex. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Queen of Cups and the King of Wands. Could be a water sign that is coming towards you, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but there's definitely something here that, where this person feels like this could be a very balanced connection, right? This may be someone who's very shy or timid or mellow, but it's almost like an energy of opposites attract, or there's some sort of a void that this person feels that you fill in their life here. Okay, but they do feel like this could be a very balanced connection, but there is an energy of wanting to like prove themselves to you or prove how they feel towards you. And I feel a little bit of a jittery energy, or someone who feels a bit anxious. I mean, it could be because, yeah, the Fool card, it could be because you guys are in the early stages of getting to know each other. But there's also like a question of if you guys are on the same page. Like this is someone who wants to know if you are attracted to them as much as they are attracted to you. Like they may have a very different way of expressing how they feel towards you, or maybe they feel like they're being open with you, but you're being a little more, observant, and maybe you're not really opening up, right away here. But they do have questions specifically pertaining to, are we on the same page? Does Leo feel the same way towards me as I do feel for them? Nine of Cups. You're someone who makes this person very, very happy. I think that this is someone who's going to be communicating that to you. I think that this is someone who actually looks forward to conversing with you. Conversing with you, spending quality time with you. They really like being in your energy. And they admire your confidence with the King of Wands. They feel like you're very confident, you're very focused. It's almost like an attitude of, I'm going to do what makes me happy, and I'm not really impacted by, those around me. This may be someone who is easily, impacted by external opinions, or this is someone who has a hard time, doing things for themselves because they're always putting others' desires before their own. Like there is a little bit of an energy where they look up to you, or they wish they were, a little more like you in that aspect. Nine of Wands. Yeah, there's a bit of a guarded energy here, Leo. And this is what I was sensing. Like someone who is like, okay, I'm trying to put my finger on how Leo feels, but I'm not sure because there is some sort of a guard up here. Nine of Wands could also just be this person viewing you as someone who is healing from something, or someone who has been hurt in the past, because a Nine of Wands could be read as like that wounded warrior energy, right? Where it's like, okay, they're like, okay, Leo is connecting with me, but I can tell that Leo is going to take things slow, or I can tell that Leo is going to take a while to trust the situation or open up here because of their past. They feel like you're someone who doesn't really trust situations very easily. The Hanged Man, there may be a bit of a stagnant energy between the both of you, but I also feel with the Hanged Man, there's going to be a shift in perspective. This person is going to begin to see things from your perspective. They're going to be understanding you on a deeper level here. I also feel like this is someone who's really trying to figure you out, even if it means that they have to figure certain things out on their own. And what I mean by that is because with the Nine of Wands and the King of Wands, they do feel like you are opening up to them, but there are certain things that you're not telling them, or certain things that you're not comfortable opening up about. They're really trying to figure things out about you without coming off too invasive. And it stems from a space of feeling like, Leo makes me very happy, but I'm not going to push them to open up when they don't feel ready, or I'm not going to force anything in this connection here. The Five of Pentacles. There could be something pertaining to this person's financial situation that has changed. It could be causing a bit of insecurity for them, whether it's like a job situation, whether it's like a living situation. But I do see them coming out of that space, or making some sort of a plan to, come out of that space there. Nine of Wands, Three of Swords, yeah. What's the Hanged Man? The Empress. They see a lot of potential with you, Leo, but this is someone who's very realistic. That's what I'm sensing. Could be a Libra or a Taurus, but it's like, I see potential with Leo. I feel like Leo is the entire package with the Empress. This is someone that I could, be with. This is someone that I feel very emotionally content with. But I will say that they feel like there's some sort of baggage from your past that you're carrying, or something that you're still actively healing from. Right? Even if that's not the case, Leo, with the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands, they are still sensing a guarded energy. So even if you have healed from something in the past, maybe you are just having a hard time trusting new situations moving forward. So this is someone who sees the potential, but they're being very realistic. That's why I feel like, they're taking a few steps back, or they're not trying to be pushy in any way, and they're allowing you to open up when you feel comfortable to do so. This is someone who can see the love that you're capable of giving. This is someone who could see how you have a heart of gold, even though you're not showing it to them initially. So the potential and who you really are is something that's visible to this person, hence why they feel like patience is required in this situation. But I will say that with a Three of Swords, Nine of Wands, they may feel like there's something in some sort of past baggage, or something in your past that you're still kind of thinking about or healing from. Okay. So let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Okay, so we have Spirit. I am filled with light. Change me, divine beloved, into one who knows my spirit is eternal and ageless. Let me release any old ideas of constriction or limitation. My whole being is filled with joy, energy, and beauty. A vessel for the divine Shakti. Okay. There's definitely some sort of limitations that you feel, or something that you're healing from. For this card to come out as we have the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands, whether it's a past situation, Leo, whether it's something that you're still healing from, that you feel like it's kind of causing you to be held back from something that could actually be really good for you, the first step here may be, going within and saying, why am I not allowing myself to receive, right? What is holding me back? Is it because I don't feel like I'm deserving of something? Is it because I'm revisiting a situation that, is causing me to feel uneasy? But I do feel like there's something really good in terms of this connection coming in for you, but there may be some sort of a energetic block that you feel that you're being called to heal prior to experiencing this. Because what I see is this is coming in for you because you're deserving of it, but maybe you're not able to see it from that lens, even if it's particularly, this month or this week here. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. So let's see what's going on for my Virgo singles. So the Chariot wanted to pop out here, guys. It could be Cancer that is coming towards you. If it's not about Cancerian energy, it's just something, progressing, something happening much more quickly than you anticipated it to. We have the Six of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Someone could be making some sort of travel plans to like physically relocate, or if it's not about relocating, it could be someone who just wants to come and visit you or feel closer to you. If this is not, physical distance and someone wanting to move closer to you, Six of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles could be, an increase in this person's effort, or someone, investing in you to show you that they do want to have a closer bond, or they do want to work towards something more than what you guys currently have. Let's see. This could also be someone that you work with. Three of Pentacles, as I say that. Yeah, so definitely could be someone that you work with, or there's a strong energy of, I feel like Virgo and I could work together in a very efficient way. I feel like we're on the same page, or we have, similar goals or a similar mindset here. This could also be a connection that starts off like something pertaining to business, or you guys are talking business, but it could lead to something more here. Okay, I feel like conversations with you are very mentally stimulating for this person. The Queen of Wands. Okay, and we have the Hanged Man. So this could be someone who feels like they are taking quite some time with when it comes to taking some sort of action towards you, where there's like a pause in this connection, where the attraction is there, the passion is there, the desire to pursue something more. But with the Hanged Man, it could also be a strong energy of there's a block, whether it's energetic or quite literally. Like, for example, if it's physical distance, this person could have a deep desire to connect with you, but they feel like they, want to spend more quality time with you. They want to be closer to you, right? But I do sense that there could be some sort of a pause, even though it's in the early stages of the both of you connecting here. Okay, the other way that I could read this is this could be someone that you had a brief meeting with, and then things kind of came to a halt, and now it's picking back up again, right? Because I did say with the Chariot that things could be progressing much more quickly than you anticipated it to. There could be something pertaining to this person's stability that they are kind of like working through. So whether it's like switching jobs, whether it's something pertaining to their living situation, Five of Pentacles could be, a change in their stability, or it's like a mentality of lack, where it's like feeling this deep desire, feeling very connected to you, but also asking themselves, do I have what it takes to maintain a connection with Virgo in the current moment? Could I be doing more? Should I be doing more? Those are questions that could be crossing this person's mind. For some of you, this could be a Pisces. Queen of Pentacles. I see a lot of attraction here, but I also feel like this person is drawn to you because of the way that you carry yourself. They are viewing you as someone who's very stable, very independent, and I think what they admire about you is how cautious you are when it comes to the situations that you invest in, the time and energy that you give to people. The Queen of Pentacles is a very cautious energy, right? She's holding on to that pentacle. She's like, okay, who and what is deserving of this pentacle? And if they're not deserving, then I'm just going to keep it to myself. So they do admire that you could be picky in a way, but in a good way, where it's like, you really care about what you're investing your time and energy into, like I said. So I feel like that's something that they definitely admire about you. Two of Pentacles. Yeah, this may be someone who's connecting with you, but they feel like they're in between worlds, or there's like a lot that they're juggling right now. you know, specifically when it comes to their stability, whether it's, okay, I'm working 2 jobs and so I feel overworked, or, you know, my past job is not really working out for me and I'm in the process of searching for a new job, but I still feel connected to Virgo. Because what I'm strongly getting is they feel connected to you, but they don't feel like they're in the right position stability wise in order to pursue something with you in the current moment. So they're working through that. All right. So whether it's, I want my living situation to change, I want to be at a better space financially, right? So that I can actually provide, or so that I can actually just feel like myself while connecting with Virgo. I do see that there's some sort of issues pertaining to their stability that they're actively trying to work through. 4 of Swords. This could also be someone who spends quite a bit of time on their own. So whether it's, you know, I'm picking up on an energy of someone who's a lone wolf, or 4 of Swords could also be someone who, you know, works, especially with the 5 of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles, someone who feels overworked or works a lot, where they're almost feeling like restless. You know, this person could be someone where when they do get, you know, a day off or some sort of time for themselves, they end up just spending that time on their own because they're so overwhelmed of their, you know, overwhelmed because of their lifestyle or their day-to-day, you know, routines and habits and things like that. 7 of Swords. What's the 2 of Pentacles? The Wheel of Fortune. There could be something that this person feels a little bit suspicious about, and in no way does it mean that you're being dishonest with this person, but it could be that they feel like they're lacking clarity in this situation here. Now, the 7 of Swords is not always about dishonesty. It could also touch on just someone using some sort of strategy or being very strategic when it comes to connecting with you. Let's see, 9 of Swords, okay, and the Devil. There's something here that this person is actively working through that is stressing them out, that may even cause them to feel insecure in the current moment, but they're not opening up about it, is what I see. The 9 of Swords and the Devil, this could be a habit. This could be a characteristic that they embody. This could be, you know, a cycle, a toxic pattern that they feel like they're constantly in. It could even be a situation that they don't know how to get out of. But I do see that they're trying to keep that under wraps. With the Wheel of Fortune, that is, you know, the pro here, which is this situation is going to be coming to an end, or it's going to change. 9 of Pentacles. They're freeing themselves from a situation that is causing them to feel trapped. This could be emotionally, mentally, financially, right? So you're going to know your situation better than I will, but it could be, for example, if this person is trapped in a situation financially, right? They're working a job that they absolutely, you know, do not like, and they constantly feel miserable because of it. They're keeping it under wraps, but they're making a change. If this is another situation that this person feels tied to, and they feel that's somehow in the way of pursuing something with you, they're you know, putting that to an end here. But what I see, there's a situation that they feel trapped in that is stressing them out on a daily basis, but they're not telling you about it. They're working towards creating a change or doing something about it, but I don't think that they're comfortable opening up about it, at least not this week. So let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. I'm strongly getting like freeing themselves from a situation so that there could be some sort of a change between the both of you. This could also be someone who's working on their independence. So whether it's, you know, some sort of codependency here, whether it's someone who wants to feel stable on their own prior to investing in a situation with you. Okay. Okay, so we have the card Freedom. I love myself. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can love myself in every condition. Free me from self-torture. Fill me with self-acceptance and worthiness. May I allow and honor all my feelings. May I allow and honor all my feelings, however they arise. So this could be, you know, a connection that is bringing up a lot of emotion, you know, within you, Virgo, but it could also be an energy of maybe sometimes there could be something here that you're going through, even if it's in the current moment, but it's allowing yourself to feel those emotions and allowing them to flow through you. This is not necessarily about dwelling in, you know, what's bothering you, or dwelling in what you need to heal from, but it is just actively working towards healing from it, or releasing yourself from some sort of, you know, negative thoughts here, because it does say free me from self-torture. And it says, divine beloved, into one who can love myself in every condition. Maybe, you know, there's something that you're going through where you don't feel ready for a relationship. Maybe there's something that you don't feel proud of, but just know that you're able to work through it, because this is all about loving yourself no matter what you're going through. Even if there's a mentality of lack, even if there's something here that you feel like you're, you know, unable to do. It says, fill me with self-acceptance and worthiness. I feel like there's something in your past here that you're going to be learning to just accept and move on from. It could be something that you're not proud of. It could be something that has been very difficult for you to process, but I do see you working through that. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra, let's see what's going on for my Libra and singles. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Nine of Wands. You could be connecting with someone who is like dealing with some sort of trust issues, or they have a fear of like allowing themselves to fall for you completely with the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Like this could just be an energy where I'm picking up on someone who's like afraid of being hurt, someone who is fearing like the worst case scenario, even if that's not the case here. Okay, let's see. Who is coming towards Libra? Nine of Swords and the Page of Wands. Someone is really anxious when it comes to communicating with you. You know, Nine of Swords being the first card there, it's like they're thinking about what to say, or they're formulating a message here, and they really feel drawn to you with the Page of Wands. But I think there's a lot of worry, or almost like an anxious energy associated with that card as well, where it's like they're either over-analyzing, overthinking what they're, you know, wanting to say to you. But it's also like an energy of how is Libra going to respond. This may be someone who is younger than you, or they're viewing you as an individual who is really, you know, experienced or has more experience than them in one way or another. I don't want to say that they feel less than, but they are definitely holding you on some sort of a pedestal. They are definitely feeling like, am I enough, or is what I'm doing or what I'm saying going to be enough? So I feel like this is someone who, you know, needless to say, is definitely overthinking the communication this week. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. I think this person is someone who definitely wants to, you know, invest in you. What they're concerned about is equal give and take. They're hoping that you guys are on the same page. They're hoping that you guys are able to meet each other halfway here. And this is someone who is in a very giving or nurturing energy. But I do feel like there's a little bit of doubt, or a bit of a hesitant energy. It doesn't mean that there has to be something negative that occurred, right? This is a fairly new energy, but Nine of Swords could just be read as like overthinking, right? Over-analyzing a situation, maybe some sort of fear of how you're going to receive what they want to tell you. But I do see a level of excitement. I see, you know, a level of passion here with the Page of Wands as well. The Moon card. There's a lot that this person keeps to themselves. I also feel strongly, Libra, that this may be someone who has admired you from afar, has had feelings for you for quite some time, but they feel like an urgency, or they feel, you know, pretty much an urge to just tell you how they feel in the now. But I feel like they could have had these emotions for you for some time. It's just they were not expressing them with the Moon card. You know, this person feels like they see the potential here. They feel very deeply towards you, but I'm strongly getting someone who struggles with like opening up, especially when it comes to the emotional department. And it's like some sort of hurt that they're fearing, or some sort of judgment that they're fearing. That's what I'm getting here. Page of Wands, King of Wands. This person is very attracted to you, and I feel like they're solely focused on you. It's almost a very fixated energy with the King of Wands. So even if there's some sort of worry or a little bit of an anxious energy that this person feels, they're still going to be pursuing you. They're not going to allow that to create a block when it comes to telling you how they feel about you. They're holding on to some sort of like hope that things are actually going to progress between the both of you. So the evidence, there's no tangible evidence, but this is something that they're just intuitively picking up on. This could be a very confident individual. This could be someone where when they're communicating with you, you can't really tell that they're, feeling anxious. But for the Nine of Swords to be the first card there, I definitely feel like, prior to communicating with you, they're feeling very worried or anxious, or it's taking them some time to come up with, what is the right thing to say. The Star. They feel like connecting with you has been very healing. They also feel the connection that they have with you is very rare, right? The Star card is something that's rare, something that's special. And so it also touches on hopes and dreams. So like this person could feel like, you are their version of, an ideal partner. You or the connection that they share with you is something that they have been manifesting, but they're not going to let it go because they feel like this could be something very special. But they are also thinking about every single thing that they're telling you, and they're thinking about every possible outcome. This could be an Aquarius. Two of Cups, yeah. What I see is someone who has been admiring you from afar, and they're finally, gaining the courage to express this to you. And on the outside, it may not show, but on the inside, they're very anxious. They're like, how is Libra going to receive this? And they're hoping that the feelings between the both of you are mutual with the Two of Cups. This is someone who feels guided in your direction. With the Star card and the Two of Cups, that could also be symbolic to something that your intuition or your higher self is telling you. Seven of Wands. There may be some sort of boundaries that you have up here, Libra, or you may be someone, for example, like when I say they feel a block, it could be that maybe they're wanting to, be more social, or they're wanting to, better understand you. But maybe you're someone who doesn't have social media. That's just a generic example. Maybe this is someone who wants to communicate with you, but they, only see you, or when they see you, it's like they feel like they only have like a certain amount of time or limited time here. Like there's some sort of a block that they feel when it comes to being closer to you. The Three of Cups. But I do feel like it's someone who wants to like take you out and spend more time with you. And the Seven of Wands could also just be a very protective energy. Someone who's not really, speaking to others about this connection either. Like, yes, they may take some time to open up to you emotionally with the Moon card, but I also feel like this is someone who's not really speaking about this connection to others. You could be dealing with a very private individual. And the Three of Cups is an energy of, I want to go out with Libra. I want to have fun. So this is someone who could be asking you out on a date. And it's most certainly someone who wants to spend more quality time with you. Okay. So let's see if I can get you guys a closing message. Okay, guys, so we have desires. I offer all longings to you. Change me, divine beloved, into one who offers all longings to you. Let me feel whole, knowing all true needs will be handled. You are my source for all. So this is about releasing control, possibly just going with the flow of things. But what you desire in a connection is something that you can have. But there may be an energy of needing to detach in order to attract that, or maybe even detach from like a specific outcome that you have, right? Knowing that it's already yours, or knowing that it's coming towards you and there's nothing that you need to do except, sit back and receive that. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio. So let's see. Who is coming towards my Scorpio? Let's see. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles wanted to show itself here. It could be an earth sign. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Okay, guys, so we have the Temperance on the bottom of the deck. For some of you, it could be a Sagittarius that is coming towards you. And then we have the Nine of Cups. Someone who feels like you guys would, work together very well, but also someone who really feels at peace with you. I also feel with the Temperance and the Nine of Cups, it's like this magnetic pull or feeling very drawn to you, but not really understanding why. There could be something very different about you or different about this connection for this person here. So they feel like they're not used to feeling this way, or they're not used to maybe connecting with someone like you. Let's see. But I'm strongly getting someone who feels very at peace with you. Okay. Oh. Okay, so 10 of Cups and the Hierophant. Wow. Could be a Taurus or a water sign, so another Scorpio like yourself, Pisces, or a Cancer. But this is someone who is viewing you as, I want to commit to you. When I think of you, I have a higher level of commitment on my mind. I do feel like there's a lot that they could be learning from you as well. But there's a strong energy. You know, we're seeing the Hierophant now. We did see the Temperance. Like, they feel like they met you for a reason, and they're wanting to explore that. There's a lot of excitement when it comes to that. So what their intentions here are is working towards a commitment. This is someone who's going to be investing in you. You're going to see, you're going to see the effort on their end. It could also be someone that you work with. But I feel like this is someone who's wanting to work towards a commitment. This is someone who wants things to feel more stable between the both of you. So even if you guys are in the early stages of connecting with each other, what they're working towards is this connection feeling more stable or tangible in one way or another. You also motivate this person to do better. So like, they could look up to you in a way, or like there's something about the way that you carry yourself that makes this person want to do better and feel better about themselves. This is someone who's very patient. You know, they're not going to do anything based off of impulse emotion. They're not going to do anything in the spur of the moment. It's a very premeditated energy, but also someone who likes to think about things thoroughly. Heavy Taurus energy, so it definitely could be a Taurus, but with the Knight of Pentacles, I'm just strongly getting that this is someone who's like, okay, this is what I want, this is what I want to work towards, but it's going to happen in baby steps, or I'm going to do things little by little. So again, I don't see that they're rushing into anything. I don't feel like this is someone who is, it's not a case of love bombing or coming in hot and heavy. This is a very slow and patient kind of love is what I'm seeing. And it's because they're thinking about long-term stability. They're viewing the connection with you as something that they want to last. The Empress, they see you as the entire package here. Some of you may have children of your own, okay? If that's not the case, they just feel like you would make a great mother or a father here. You're very nurturing, you're very caring. They also feel like you're the entire package because they're viewing you in a very independent energy, like you're able to attain things for yourself. You're not really reliant on others. And that's something that they admire here. They want to create something with you. They want to birth something with you. And not always is it going to be that this person wants a child. It could just be like birthing a business together, right? Or just creating something with you, wanting to build with you. I'm strongly getting that. The Seven of Swords. What's the Knight of Pentacles? Eight of Cups. This person could have recently detached or walked away from a situation that they feel very betrayed in. And I will say, when I see the Seven of Swords, especially in like a single spread, like I could read it as something that this person is trying to figure out about you, something that they feel like is a bit hidden, or just an energy of someone who feels like they don't really know you that well. But the other way that I could read this, guys, is like, this is someone who may be dealing with some sort of trust issues where like, it takes them a while to actually open up and trust the situation. Hence why I do sense a bit of a slow moving energy, in a way where they are thinking about things thoroughly, right? They're taking it very slow so that they don't miss any details, or they don't miss anything by doing something impulsively. So this is someone who's optimistic, but they're also very, it's like they're cautiously optimistic. Nine of Pentacles. What's the Seven of Swords? The Five of Swords. What's the Five of Swords? Four of Cups and the Nine of Swords. I feel like this person could be up in their mind a bit this week, where it's like, you know, they're wondering if you guys are on the same page. The Four of Cups could be a bit of rejection. So like, even if you're connecting with this person, maybe you're a busy individual. Maybe there's something else that's on your plate this week. Like, this person may feel like they're investing a little more time in this connection, or they're more invested in this connection than you are. It doesn't mean that that's the truth. This is just what's going on in their feelings. There is a bit of rejection that they feel. The other way that I could read this with the Seven of Swords and Five of Swords is like, this person is feeling conflicted when it comes to, they're really wondering if you are solely focused on them, or are you keeping your options open? So that could be something that they want to communicate. And Four of Cups and Nine of Swords, guys, really sometimes could just be illusions that this person could be having a hard time seeing past, right? Four of Cups could be something that is like appearing to be real, even if it's not. And Nine of Swords, you know, that could be unnecessary worry or a bit of an anxious energy. But I do strongly feel like they're trying to figure you out. They are wanting to know if you guys are on the same page. And they're just hoping that there's not anything going on where they have to find out about it later. It's like they feel very invested in you already, but they want to know that you are on the same page, is pretty much what I'm getting here. What's the Nine of Swords? The Page of Cups. Yeah, I feel like they're going to be communicating that to you. It doesn't really seem like a block to me. It just seems to me that this is someone who feels they've been betrayed in the past, or they've been lied to in the past, and they're just moving with caution is pretty much what I'm sensing. Okay, so let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Okay, let's see. So we have the card unfolding, according to your will. Change me, divine beloved, into one who lets you guide things according to your will. May the highest unfold in all ways. So something is, you know, happening the way that it should be. It may not be how, or things may not be progressing as quickly as you want them to, or maybe something is not coming in for you or happening for you the way that you thought it would, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's just occurring in a different way. This could also be a message of, you know, detaching from a specific outcome, or releasing some sort of control in the situation. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see what's going on for my singles. The Page of Wands wanted to show itself here. This could be an incoming message or a phone call. Could also be someone, you know, viewing you as having like a very youthful energy. We have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, so that's an emotional confession, and the Death card. An emotional confession that changes, you know, the dynamic here. So if this is someone that you're connecting with and you guys are just getting to know each other, it could be that they're confessing their emotions towards you, or letting you know that their emotions are developing here, and it's changing, you know, the dynamic, or it's creating some sort of a energetic shift here. Could be a Scorpio. Okay, let's see. Okay. The Devil. Okay. Could be a Capricorn, the Page of Wands. You know, Sagittarius, I'm strongly getting that someone who feels very attracted to you, someone who has this deep desire for you, A, feels like they shouldn't, or B, they feel like they want something that they can't necessarily have. So I don't know if you know, it's an energy of, you know, forbidden fruit, that sort of thing, or it's like someone who is feeling connected to you, but for some reason they're unable to pursue you in the current moment. It's like they're viewing you as, I could read it as temptation, but with the Page of Wands, it's like, I have a deep desire, I feel this magnetic pull, but there is a block here. Either I shouldn't be pursuing someone, or I'm unable to because of my, you know, current circumstances. There may even be a bit of obsessive thinking here when it comes to this person's energy, because the Devil card could be when you're, you know, constantly thinking about something to the point where it's beginning to feel unhealthy. And even though it seems to me that it's a fairly new energy, it could be that this person feels like they're developing some sort of an attachment to an outcome, or wanting something with you, wanting something more with you, I should say. The Moon. I do feel this person is communicating with you, but in a very discreet way. Right? So, like, whether it's they're not telling you something, or speaking to you as something that they're not publicizing. So they're keeping it under wraps. There could be something very discreet about this connection or their approach. And this is someone who feels very deeply towards you, but I don't think you know the depths of their emotions, because there's a lot that they keep to themselves. And for the Devil card being, you know, the first card there in their feelings, I strongly am getting like there's something here that is not allowing this person to authentically express themselves to you. It could even be, you know, something that's going on in their personal life, like a habit or a cycle that they're trying to detach from or free themselves from. But I will say, if this person is communicating with you, they're definitely being very discreet. Like their approach seems very, you know, not very open. The Strength card, yeah. They have deep emotions for you, but something within them is telling them, okay, you need to be a bit held back, or you can't express everything at once, or you have to move with caution here. Could be a Leo. It's like there's something here, right, that's creating a block or impacting this person, but they're not wanting to show that to you. They're not wanting you to see that side of them, or something that is causing them to feel insecure, something that is causing them to feel maybe like they're unable to fully be themselves around you. So there may be like a specific image that this person is trying to maintain when it comes to you this week. The Two of Swords, in between worlds, feeling like they have a lack of clarity in terms of where this connection is headed, but they know they want to communicate with you. They know that they want to, you know, connect with you. Now, when I see the Two of Swords and the Devil in the same spread, this could also be someone who's in a state of denial. Like they feel connected to you. They know that something else is in the way, but they're, you know, turning a blind eye to that. You know, I don't want to focus on that. I know that's in the way, but I don't want to focus on that. I just want to focus on, you know, communicating with Sagittarius. Something feels a little sneaky about this energy. A little sneaky. Like it seems to me like they're not like it's someone who feels like they shouldn't be doing this. It's someone who like feels a bit of guilt, or it's like an extremely discreet energy of not wanting someone else particularly to know about, you know, them pursuing you, or just not wanting to tell anyone at all. They're very protective when it comes to this connection with you. They're not wanting external opinions or external influences to kind of cause some sort of a break or an emotional gap between the both of you. But it's an energy of, I can pursue Sagittarius as long as I keep something else under wraps, or I will explain that when I'm ready to, but right now I'm not ready to speak about that. The Hermit, yeah, there's something that they're keeping to themselves, but they're also coming towards you. And it's stemming from a space of there's a lot of attraction, there's a lot of passion. There is a deep desire that they feel towards you. But the devil could also be, you know, when there's something unhealthy associated with that as well. Could be a Virgo. This person spends a lot of time on their own. So even if they're in another situation, even if there's something here that's creating a block, they're spending a lot of time on their own, or there's some sort of critical thinking that's taking place when they're in a period of isolation. Ace of Wands. Seven of Wands, a Chariot. I see this person moving forward and communicating with you, but I will have to acknowledge the fact that it's going to be in a very discreet way. Even if it's, you know, particularly this week or this month, there's something here that they're not opening up about. There's something here that they're avoiding thinking about because their desire for you is outweighing something else that may be in the way. Okay, so let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Could be a Cancer also with a Chariot. Okay, did I drop a card there? Okay, 1 second, guys. Okay, let's reshuffle. Okay, so we have the card Soulmate. I am one who trusts. Allow me, divine beloved, to trust that the perfect person has already been selected. In the right place and time we shall meet. For you know every true desire of my heart. May I only wish for what you wish for me, okay? Yeah, some of you could be questioning this connection a bit, or maybe you're wondering why the people that you connect with are, you know, maybe involved in other situations, or the connections that you do somehow build seem to always have some sort of a block in it. That could be something that you're wondering or questioning. But this is about, you know, believing that you will find the right person, or, you know, the right person or the right connection won't feel forced. It won't feel overly, you know, complex or complicated here. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, so let's see what's going on for my Capricorn singles. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups and the King of Wands. This could be a connection that starts off more as like a friendship, or you guys are in the early stages where you're just connecting with each other, wanting to understand each other as, you know, or like on a deeper level. But there's something about like either this relationship starting off as more of a friendship, or you could even be meeting this person through a mutual friend here. With the King of Wands, I do feel like this is someone who's very attracted to you, attracted to your confidence also. But you may be meeting this person through mutual friends, or at some sort of like a party or a gathering. Okay. Okay. Ace of Pentacles and the Devil. It's definitely someone who's offering you something very stable, something you would want to invest in. The Devil is your energy. There may be something that you're working through, or some sort of emotions that are resurfacing for you as you're connecting with this person. Whether it's something about this connection reminds you of a past connection, whether it's something about this person, you know, reminds you or causes some sort of an emotion to resurface, and it leads to some sort of healing for you also. But I definitely feel like there's like a very tempting offer, something that you would want to accept. But the Devil card could also be needing to pay attention to the details, or being, you know, like almost needing to like read the fine print here, if you will. So even if there is an incoming offer, it may require you to, you know, think about it and analyze it and not respond right away. There may be something that's going on that's not visible to you in the current moment. The Ten of Wands. This could be someone who has recently completed a very tough cycle. Their concern or worry could be things ending up feeling very one-sided. I also feel like this is someone who has a lot on their plate. Like the Ten of Wands could be when you have a lot of, you know, responsibilities, or you feel like your energy is being pulled in different directions, but you are still on their mind. The Devil could even be symbolic for like obsessive thinking, where they're constantly thinking about where this situation is or what the situation is going to lead to, or how to, you know, grow with you in a sense. But I do feel like there's something very difficult that this person had to go through, and that could be something that they're communicating to you. And they also feel like they had to go through it on their own. So that could be a very sensitive topic that they're opening up about. Yeah, this is an emotional confession, someone telling you how they feel and wanting things to be more stable. So it's not just confessing their emotions, but it's working towards a commitment or building with you in one way or another. And it's more of a realistic approach. It's not necessarily coming in hot and heavy, or, you know, I don't really see it as some sort of an emotional outpour. It's more of a realistic approach. Okay, this is how I feel. And so, you know, this is what I want to work towards. And then you will, and then we can do that, or we could take the necessary steps towards, you know, building together, or being closer to each other in one way or another. Four of Wands, yeah. This person could have recently, you know, gone through a breakup, or, you know, came out of a very tough commitment here with the Four of Wands. So commitment is something that they want, but they want with you, but they also want to take their time when it comes to working towards that. They want to get to know you better. They want to make sure that they trust the situation. And there may be some sort of negative thoughts that they have pertaining to commitments because of their past experiences. And so that could be something that they're actively, you know, healing from. But I also see them communicating that to you. Queen of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who feels like they have a lot of love to give, but they are now being more cautious. They may have been, you know, very, you know, open or nurturing in their past, but they feel like they were really taken advantage of. So they have this love to give. They do want a commitment here, but I do see them taking their time with that. Could also be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Something very nurturing about your energy. This is also a very emotionally balanced individual. They may feel like, you know, past situations have caused them to act out of character, or they've really caused them to feel like they're on some sort of an emotional roller coaster. And not only are they wanting a stable connection, but they're wanting a connection where they're able to be emotionally balanced. They don't want a connection with extremes, right? Like whether it be extreme highs and lows, like they want it to feel very balanced between the both of you. Page of Swords, this person's very curious about you, trying to figure you out. They could be asking you specific questions, but I also feel like it's someone who's trying to figure things out on their own about you as well. This could be, you know, keeping tabs on you. This could be asking, you know, maybe a mutual friend about you. But there's a lot of curiosity to explore and learn you. Page of Wands. So I feel like this is someone you're going to be communicating with quite a bit. Back and forth communication here. And we have the Queen of Wands. What's the Queen of Wands? The Two of Wands. I think that this is a week where, you know, even if it's just this month alone where this person is connecting with you, it's like they're letting you know that they're attracted to you. They're letting you know that they have emotions for you, but it's not someone who's diving into anything. Queen of Wands, Two of Wands. The attraction, the passion, the emotions are there. But Two of Wands is creating some sort of a plan for the future, right? Two of Wands could also be a little bit of a waiting game, or just, you know, you could feel like things are not progressing as quickly as you want them to, or you feel like there's some sort of a pause. But this person is just putting a lot of thought and planning into how to pursue things with you. I just don't see someone who's doing things impulsively, or just diving into a connection to dive into it. They're also not allowing the fact that they're very attracted to you to determine how quickly they move, because they feel like that hasn't worked out for them in the past. So like I said, a very realistic approach is what I'm sensing. Let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. They see a future with you for sure, but they're taking it one day at a time. Okay. So we have the card Strength. I lean on you. Make me ready to call on you in even the most confusing situations, large or small. Let me include you. May I lean on your strength, knowing your grace can unravel any dilemma. Yeah. Some of you could feel a bit confused in this situation, or you're having questions of, are we on the same page? I do feel the emotions are mutual. I just feel like this person is slowing down their approach, or they feel like they have to take their time in this situation. So you may find that there's a bit of a withdrawn energy, or you guys connect and then maybe you guys don't speak for a bit. Like there's some sort of a waiting game or a pause. And so that could raise some sort of confusion, but I don't see it as someone who's confused about how they feel towards you. I feel like it's someone who's just wanting to be patient and take their time when it comes to pursuing something more with you. This may be someone who has learned that, building a strong friendship or a foundation prior to jumping into a commitment is the smarter way to do things. And so that could be something that they're, working towards, where it's like, I want to first know Capricorn as a person prior to just diving into a connection with them. They're not allowing their attraction and passion for you determine how quickly things progress, because like I said, they feel that did not work out for them in the past. Okay, so that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see. What's going on for my Aquarian singles? Oh, Knight of Swords. Some sort of unexpected communication. Could be very speedy communication also. We have the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Tower. Yeah, I definitely see like unexpected communication, or something that feels very unexpected about this connection here. This could be someone who feels like they're falling for you very quickly, or they're falling for you much more quickly than they anticipated to. Someone who did not feel like their emotions were going to develop as quickly as they currently are feeling. A lot of attraction here with the King of Wands. Let's see. Could be a Scorpio that you're connecting with. Okay, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, someone's very analytical of you this week. So again, it could be that this person, they are coming towards you. There's some sort of unexpected like communication from them, but they could also just be like very analytical of you in terms of like trying to figure you out, trying to figure out who you are as a person, almost like trying to decode you in a way. The 7 of Swords could be read as like suspicion, or just someone who is really like being very strategic when it comes to pursuing you or coming forward here. Maybe even overthinking their communication. The Sun card. For some of you, this could be a Leo. I definitely see it as this person feels you make them very happy. They do see a very bright future here, but there's something that's causing them to feel uneasy in the current moment. Whether it's they don't fully trust the situation because you guys are in the early stages of getting to know each other. Could be someone who's facing or dealing with some sort of trust issues. But it's like they're really paying attention to the situation and making sure that they are aware of even the smallest details here. It's like they don't want to dive into something just for it to fall apart. I'm not saying that it's going to fall apart, but this is what's, going on in their emotions. Just being very hesitant and cautious. I feel like with the 7 of Pentacles being the first card, that usually is an energy of looking at a situation and saying, is this worth my investment? Is this going to work out how I want it to in my mind? Or is there something in the reality of the situation that is telling me otherwise? 3 of Pentacles. So the worry that they feel, I do see them working through that. Three of Pentacles is this person feeling like you guys are able to work together. But there could be something that they want to discuss with you. Something where it's like, I want to speak about, said thing to Aquarius, and I hope we're on the same page. So there could be something here that's like an absolute deal breaker for them, or, just something that they hope that you guys are able to come to some sort of an agreement on, and that would help them determine how to move forward. So I see like a conversation or a discussion that this person feels like is much needed between the both of you. Five of Cups. Five of Cups clarifying the Seven of Swords could also just be someone who feels like they have been disappointed or let down in their past. So connecting with you, they are developing emotions for you, but they also feel like they're falling for you very quickly. And it's almost like they're not fully allowing themselves to do that because of their past experiences. Like this person may feel like, I'm falling for Aquarius very quickly, right? Like I am becoming attached in a way, or I am, becoming attached to an outcome, but I'm making sure that this can actually get off the ground, or this can actually come into fruition for me, and it's not all in my mind. Because Five of Cups could be someone who has a lot of high hopes, but they've been let down in their past. And they're just being very cautious. Seven of Wands, yeah. Being very cautious, expressing, maybe even their boundaries to you. They're also very protective when it comes to this connection with you. They're not speaking about it to others. They're not publicizing it. They're keeping a lot to themselves. And like this could be someone who feels like they've been very hurt in their past, where you may find when you're communicating with them, they're a little bit defensive, even if they don't mean to come off that way. I don't want to say an energy of everyone is out to get me, but I'm slightly feeling like someone who is still like healing from something very difficult, or someone who is very cautious to the point where it could come off a little bit defensive, like a bit of a defensive energy. Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, feeling like you're worth the investment, feeling their emotions developing, but hoping that you guys are on the same page, hoping that they're not going to be let down in this situation. The Moon card. They are going to open up to you, but I feel like this is going to take some time. The Moon card could also be certain things that this person is keeping to themselves in terms of how they feel towards you. It's like, things unfolding little by little. I'm going to tell Aquarius how I feel. I'm going to see how they respond. And then I'm going to speak about wanting a connection next, right? It's not like diving into a connection or coming in full throttle and some sort of an emotional outpour. It's taking their time with things. With the Seven of Wands, the Emperor. This could be a very successful individual. Could be someone who's in the public eye. But I do feel like it's also an individual with a lot of responsibility, and they take their responsibilities or their commitments very seriously. And so, whether it's more of a traditional individual, whether it's someone who's a little bit just there's more of an assertive energy here. I do see them just being very cautious. I believe that the emotions are here, but they're just hoping that this is actually going to work out. There is a fear of if I put my all into this, or if I invest my all into this and it doesn't work out, I'm really going to feel disappointed or let down. The Emperor is being clarified by the Page of Cups. It's like a renewal of hope. Connecting with you is causing this person to feel very happy, even with the Sun card. And this person could feel that they're feeling emotions they haven't felt in such a long time. Like while they're connecting with you, Aquarius, they're like, wow, I haven't been this happy in so long, to the point that it scares me. Because if this doesn't work out, I feel like I'm going to be let down again. So there's a bit of a hesitant energy, but it's also stemming from a space of, someone who feels like they take their commitments very, very seriously. Okay, let's see if I can get a closing message for you guys. Could also be an Aries or a Taurus here. It's like giving to the situation, seeing what they're receiving in return, but being very cautious because they don't want to be taken advantage of. And I'm not saying you're doing that, Aquarius. This is just what's going on in their emotions. This is just what they've had to deal with in prior experiences. We have competition. I am yours alone. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can trust that you alone are the source for all. Free me from the illusion of scarcity and competition. Let me trust that all needs are always richly met. I am yours alone. This is about believing that what's meant for you will always be for you. There could be a mentality of lack that you're trying to work through. There could be an energy of maybe there's something that you're, whether it's insecurities or something that you're working through within yourself that feels like you either don't know enough or don't have enough for the things that you desire. But this really is like a strong energy of letting go or detaching from negative thoughts, allowing yourself to, receive, but also knowing that what is meant for you will always be for you. Like, you may feel like you want a sense of control. Maybe you feel like you really want to know exactly what's going to happen, and there may be some sort of confusion in the current moment. But it almost seems to me it's about like trusting the timing of things, even if they're not occurring when you want them to. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So let's see here. What's going on for my singles? Three of Pentacles wanted to pop out here. Someone you work with could be developing feelings for you, or there could be an energy of someone who is wanting to work with you, yes, but some sort of a conversation on the horizon, wanting to be on the same page or come to a mutual agreement. We have the Eight of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Three of Cups. It seems to me, Pisces, that this is someone who views the connection with you as, very fun, very lighthearted. So it could be that you guys are spending quality time together. The communication is increasing between the both of you. But with the Eight of Swords, there's almost an energy of, if I confess or if I say something, will I ruin the current dynamic? This may be someone who feels some sort of mental restrictions with the Eight of Swords, especially when it comes to taking the next steps. So, like I said, they may feel comfortable with, spending quality time with you, opening up to you in one way or another. But there's something about not being able to open up to you entirely, or some sort of mental restrictions that they feel, even if they're just overthinking the situation. It's almost like a situation is going very well, and they're wondering if they say something or confess something, is it going to change, the dynamic that you guys are in. Two of Cups. This is someone who absolutely admires you. I think they're developing emotions for you fairly quickly here, possibly much more quickly than they would like to admit. Okay, Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. Yeah, there's something almost like a mentality of lack, or wondering if they're able to like maintain some sort of a connection with you, right? Five of Pentacles could be someone who's facing issues pertaining to their stability. It could be someone who's just, like I mentioned, like they're in a mentality of lack. And we did see the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords doesn't necessarily need to be that what you're thinking is the truth. It could be a case of self-sabotage or being in your own way. But I feel like with the Knight of Wands, they're highly attracted to you. There is some sort of like an urgency that they feel when it comes to communicating with you and pursuing things with you. And it's like you may have someone, you may be involved with someone who is used to being very on the go, or their lifestyle is very, it creates some sort of a block with being consistent. But there's something about connecting with you that makes this person really want to be consistent. They see something more with you. They feel like the connection is very different here. Nine of Pentacles, viewing you as very stable or independent. It's like they feel like you have it together. You are someone who is focused on yourself, and these are things that they admire. But, this person feels like they're connecting with you when there's a part of them that they're still working on. So a part of them could feel like, I'm not ready, or there's something, pertaining to their stability that they feel like they want to be at a better space prior to moving into a connection here. Although the attraction, the passion, the emotions are very much there. The High Priestess. There's some sort of mystery surrounding you. They view you as like a mysterious person, or they feel like you are someone with, layers. You do have depth to you, but you don't, show that, or you are not showing that in the current moment. They may also feel like you're someone with a very strong intuition with the High Priestess, like you're able to figure things out on your own, and you definitely know more than you show. They could also view you as like a great listener, where, when they're communicating with you, when they're, confiding in you about things, you're not interrupting them, you're listening to them, you make them feel very understood. King of Pentacles. What's the Nine of Pentacles? The Moon card. Yeah, someone who's very focused on their stability, wanting to be at a better space, right? Financially, whether it's like their living situation. And this could even be someone who's like very career oriented as well, very focused on self-development, their career, their finances. So they are feeling connected to you, but they may feel like they're not in the right space to move into a commitment, or there's something that they're working on where it's like, once I'm at a better place, or once I feel more stable, I will feel more confident in pursuing things with Pisces. High Priestess and the Moon card. This person thinks about you quite a bit. And really, I'm getting a strong energy of, they think about you much more than they would like to admit. It could be something that they're trying to figure out, kind of like, why do I feel so drawn to Pisces? Why am I constantly, thinking of them, even though it's, something that's fairly new? But it's because they feel connected to you. It's just a part of them is asking if they are asking themselves, am I ready to maintain a connection with Pisces? This person could feel like, as they, chose to focus on themselves or pour into themselves, that's when they met you. That's when they started connecting with you. So in a way, they could feel like they're in between worlds here as well. King of Wands, highly attracted to you. Like, this could be a very confident individual. This could be someone where their lifestyle is very different from yours. It's like a very fast-paced lifestyle, or someone who travels quite a bit. But connecting with you is making them want to actually like build, a home, or not be so all over the place in a way. Like, it's causing them to feel like they want to adjust their lifestyle a bit. Eight of Cups. What's the Moon card? The Two of Pentacles. So they're thinking about their next steps here. There could be something here that they feel they need to detach from or walk away from. What's the Two of Pentacles? A Death card. Yeah, something they need to walk away from. This could also just be a change. They could feel, yes, their emotions are developing, but connecting with you could cause a change in other areas of their life. For example, if this person's at a physical distance from you, they may feel like, if I want to move towards a commitment, I'm going to have to, physically relocate here. What's the Death card? The Seven of Wands. And the Six of Swords. Moving closer to you is what I see. Their next steps with the Two of Pentacles is, I want to feel closer to Pisces, whether that be an increase in communication, increase in, spending quality time together. But there's something here that they're working on when it comes to their personal life or themselves as well. And I feel that's why, a part of them doesn't feel ready, or they feel like they're in between worlds. I do see them continuing to connect with you, but they may be opening up and kind of expressing to you where they are at in their life and what they're working towards. Six of Swords, Seven of Wands, wanting to feel closer to you, but still remaining very focused on themselves to be a better person for you is what I'm seeing here. There could be something that they're opening up to you about that makes you feel closer to this person as well. So it could be something personal. It could be, something that they've endured in the past that they don't have an easy time opening up about. So let's see if I can get a closing message here. Okay. Oh. Desires. I offer all longings to you. Change me, divine beloved, into one who offers all longings to you. Let me feel whole, knowing all true needs will be handled. You are my source for all. When I see this card, it's really about detaching from any sort of, specific outcome that you may have in mind, right? There could be, a deep desire that you have towards this person or wanting to pursue a connection here. And it doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, but it may be something where you have to detach from a specific way that you may want things to occur here. There could be something that you're thinking about constantly where you're feeling consumed by it. And so you could be surrendering or leaving that up to divine or your belief system here. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.